Chapter 46. Etta's voice was tentative when she answered the phone. Hello? Dominique's voice was not. Is this Etta Hayes? Sharmelle could tell a lot about Dominique just from those 4 words. She sounded curt and less than friendly, and there was something about calling First Lady Etta Hayes and not Mrs. Hayes or even Ms. Etta that rubbed Sharmelle the wrong way instantly. Yes, this is Etta Hayes. Dominique obviously was not one for pleasantries, at least not in this phone call. I'm Dominique Pierce Foster. Marcus Pierce is my father. Sharmelle wondered why she was stating what they already knew since she called them. Yes, I know. We have been expecting your call. Etta was much more cordial than Dominique deserved according to how Sharmelle felt about this conversation so far. My father says you and he knew each other 100 years ago, and you just called him out of the blue a few days ago. Etta tried to bring a little lightness to the conversation. Well, not exactly 100, but it certainly was many moons ago. Dominique was not amused, not even a little. My father says now you claim he's the father of your son, your grown son, who should be in his early 60s at this point. Is that correct? Etta started to feel uneasy. The tone of Dominique's question started to feel as if Etta were on trial or being interviewed by the police. He is the father of my son, our son, and yes, he's a fully grown adult, and yes, he's in his 60s. As my grandson would say, you can do the math. Dominique was not deterred. And what is it that you want from him, from us as a family? Why are you calling now after all these years? What exactly is your agenda? Lucian stepped forward to say something, but Etta waved him off and mouthed for him to hush. Etta explained that she had no agenda. She told Dominique Pierce Foster about the pact that she and Henry made years ago, and now with Henry's passing, she wanted to let Marcus know about their son. And it occurred to her that so far, she had not heard anything from Marcus. Was he sitting by quietly, or was he even in the room? Well, now that he knows, this should be the end of this. Dominique wasn't asking a question. Etta was getting rattled now. Lucian noticed her hands were trembling. Well, I think Marcus, your father, should have the opportunity to meet his son if he would like to. Etta, that would not be wise. As I'm sure my father explained to you, my mother has dementia and requires 24-hour care, so my father's focus is and needs to be on her. Thank you for letting him know about your son. We wish you the best. Sharmelle thought it sounded like a script that she had prepared before she made the call. She made note of Dominique saying, your son. Her heart broke for First Lady Hayes, who simply said, goodbye. Lucian and Cecilia surrounded her, each of them grabbing her hands and telling her everything would be okay. But for Lucian, it was not okay. Cecilia could tell. And so could Sharmelle, who noticed Lucian's other fist tightening and a pronounced vein throbbing on the side of his neck. Deacon Hayes, are you all right? Even in this non-church setting, she was used to calling him Deacon Hayes. Honestly, Shar, I'm not sure. What was that? It felt like an ambush. And why didn't he say anything? Did she tell him in advance not to speak? Cecilia couldn't hold back her anger. I want to know if he was even there, and if he was, why didn't he speak up? Why was she making the call in the first place? He is definitely old enough to be able to speak up for himself and say if he wants to meet the son he never knew about. It's his wife who's senile, not him. Cece, Etta Hayes scolded her daughter-in-law. I'm sorry, y'all. That was cruel. I apologize, but I'm just so darn mad right now. We all are, honey, Lucian reassured her. Maybe none of this was a good idea after all. My life was just fine without ever hearing the name Michael Price or Marcus Pierce. Well, if Pastor McCurdy was here, he'd tell us to pray, Sharmelle reminded them. So she led them in prayer, asking God to keep them calm and show them what to do next, even if what to do next meant doing nothing. She also asked God to help them to release their anger about the situation and anger toward Marcus's daughter in particular, because Sharmelle had to admit she was every bit as angry as Cecilia. She thought she was finished with her investigation work for the Hayes family. She clearly was not. Even though they didn't ask her to, Sharmelle knew she had a new assignment as she headed back to her office. Find out all she could about the woman who had upset them so much in the last few minutes, Dominique Pierce Foster.